There are two emotions that drive, that compel, that seduce the avoidant person to avoid. One of these emotions is quite a popular emotion. That's anxiety. Anxiety signals danger. And when people experience anxiety, they want to withdraw. They want to run away. Sometimes they want to fight. But that's only one emotion that composes and drives avoidance. The other emotion, which is central to the avoidant reaction, is shame. This emotion is not well known. It lies in the shadows. People who experience shame themselves have no idea that this is the driving force behind their avoidant reaction. And as a result, they get stuck. Hi, I'm Uri Weinblatt. I'm a clinical psychologist, and I'm the developer of Contactivity, a therapeutic approach to help young people, kids in elementary school, high school, and young adults to deal effectively with avoidance. We help, of course, other family members, parents, siblings, to help the avoidant person free themselves from this prison that they have found themselves in. I want to share with you my thoughts about the emotions that drive the avoidant response. We mentioned anxiety. Anxiety signals danger and leads people to do two things that exacerbate the avoidant reaction. The first thing is it shrinks, it minimizes, it restricts life. Since anxiety can be triggered by different situations or people begin to restrict their lives, to limit their lives, not to meet these people, not to meet these situations. What they're actually trying to do, they're trying to compensate and live a life without anxiety by trying to control their environment. So in situations of avoidance, there's always an element of restriction and of over-control. Avoidant people are over-controlling, or they try to use control strategies as a way to feel more comfortable in social situations and in other situations. Now, shame does something else. Shame signals inferiority, that we are, at least momentarily, in an inferior, lower position. Why is this important? Well, studies, researchers assume and claim that in the past, in our evolutionary past, it was very important to know who is above whom, to understand hierarchy. Then we would not get in trouble with the wrong people. Today, it is different. But the reaction is similar. So, when we experience shame, we don't only want to run away, we actually want to hide. It's a different type of reaction. And what makes shame so powerful and so destructive is that the hiding always goes in two directions. We hide from the world, but we hide from ourselves. So the avoidant person doesn't want other people to see him or her, but this avoidant person starts disconnecting, avoiding different parts of themselves, emotions, feelings, wishes, desires, anything that can create expectations. When we're talking about shame, we always talk about unfulfilled expectations. And avoidant people always shift, always, from a position where they have too high expectations from themselves. They want to be rich. They want to have perfect bodies. They want to be the alphas. And when they experience being often not meeting their expectations, feeling disappointment, then they shift to the other side. They give up expectations. They want to live a life without expectations. No expectations, no disappointment, no pain. They want to live a life without pain. So anxiety restricts and controls. Shame leads to these hiding reactions. And then life turns out to be something that is experienced without pain and suffering in many ways. But it is a very shallow kind of life. It's a life with limited experiences. It's a half-life. It's not a full life. And the avoidant person, because they are so disconnected from themselves, they often don't know that they're living this type of life. People tell them. But they are in a bubble where life is very comfortable, but there are no negative feelings and also no life, or very limited type of life. So in the process of helping the young person, the kid who refuses to go to school, the teenager who avoids social activities, the young person who stays at home and will not seek work, people who refrain from romantic relationships, people who consume drugs, weed, alcohol, and other drugs, young people who play the whole day video games just in order to numb themselves, not feel, disconnect, deal with their shame, but in a way which does not lead them forward in life. The process of helping these young people always is through the regulation of these two emotions, anxiety and shame. But the methods to regulate each one of these emotions is very different. With anxiety, we can talk directly with a person about their anxiety reaction. We coach people, we inform people. This is very helpful. Why? Because it provides a sense of control. When the anxious person knows what they're feeling, they have control. They can plan. They can prepare. This is very helpful for the anxious person. But what do we do with shame? When we share with a person who has excessive shame, that they are experiencing a lot of shame, the reaction is becoming more shameful. It increases their level of shame. People don't like to hear it. It doesn't provide any control. It's one more experience of humiliation. So they do not agree often and start fighting with us that maybe it's something else. It is not helpful, or they avoid. It is not helpful for the person who is full of shame to know that they're full of shame. They need something else. And if shame leads to disconnection, the healing component is creating the connection. And this is exactly what we do in contactivity. Contactivity is composed of these two words, contact and activity. We create contact, we help the person come in contact, make contact with other people, with this person's family and parents and siblings and friends and school and other systems around this person, but also to connect with themselves, to have them come in touch with their feelings, with their thoughts and wishes and desires. And then something very interesting happens. Spontaneously, without coercion, the person starts becoming active. And the people around this person say, hey, his motivation developed. He wants things. He wants to go out. And the most interesting part is that this motivation is combined with another state or an emotion, and that's courage. The person not only tries out new things, this person wants new things, and this person has the courage to fail.